Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 26 of the African Do podcast. Today, we're very privileged to have with us Harriet Chebet Ng'ok. Harriet runs a very interesting business that takes African indigenous medicines and supplements and packages them in a modern context. They run this both as a manufacturing entity and a retail entity. And we're looking forward to hearing more about this business. Harriet, welcome to the
Thank
African
you so
Do.
much for having me, Leonard.
Excellent. So, Harriet, let's get straight into it. Before we get into the details of the business, maybe let's talk a bit about your background. So where does Harriet come from to this point where you find yourself entrepreneuring in this way with this business?
Okay, so I would like to say I'm just like a regular Kenyan woman.
Yes.
I was born in Nairobi, actually. And my formative years were in Nairobi. I went to school here all the way up until university.
Okay.
And then I went to England.
Yes.
I went to London, actually.
Yes.
And pretty much I was your typical studious kind of person. I always liked new things, but I never really thought I'd ever be in a business like this. My background is in law and finance.
Okay.
My first degree is LLB, mercantile law. My
Yes.
second degree is international banking and finance law.
Okay.
So what I really wanted to be was an investment banker.
Okay.
I wanted to go to Wall Street. So those were my ideas when I was at university. And I ended up at JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs.
Yes.
And also the Financial Services Authority in the UK.
Okay.
So this was not really my idea. Like I didn't want to be an entrepreneur from the beginning. I thought I was just going to be a professional.
Yes.
And a banker at that.
Yes.
So this is a business I stumbled onto.
Okay.
What had been going on with me from when I was age 16 was very painful menses, the kind that you faint and are taken to the sanatorium.
Yes.
So as I started working, now this became a big problem because I'd bleed for even a week or even 10 days and I'm in a lot of pain.
Yes.
So it started to interfere with my work.
Yes.
And I started to look for alternative remedies when I wasn't living in England. And that is a society that has everything from, the natural remedies to the alternative remedies to even, going as far as the mystical remedies to the allopathic remedies.
Yes.
So since my bank was paying for my healthcare, I had access to doctors who could not help me. I had access to good healthcare, actually, which I wasn't even paying for. So I started looking at things like essential oils, herbs, flower essences, and I learned how to make them at home.
Okay.
So I'd go to all these festivals. The UK has a lot of these kind of natural festivals or summer festivals. And I started learning a lot about the industry.
Yes.
Without knowing that it was going to take me anywhere.
Okay.
Now, I moved back home mainly because my parents were getting older.
Yes.
And I thought it was time for me to spend more time with them. But I still came back home with this problem. So then again, we had a lady who worked for us and she brought me these herbs from a place called Webuye. We used to call them Webuye.
Yes.
And they had aloe vera and she had an uncle who was a herbalist going to Kakamega Forest and send these. And I got some relief, maybe 5%.
Yes.
I had another neighbor from Keyo Marakwet who also had the same problem with her daughters. So in my time, it was common to have painful periods.
Yes.
We thought it was normal. You take a painkiller. Some of us were taking, very heavy drugs, strong prescription painkillers, not knowing that we're not supposed to.
Yes.
2017, now my dad's funeral, and I was bleeding heavily in a lot of pain. And this woman approached me just from the way I was walking and said, Nimegundua shidako. Tomorrow, I'll bring you dawa. And I was amused, but it was not... This was actually in Sotik, in Bomet County.
Yes.
So I was amused. And I thought, okay, well, I could try anything. I love mixing these things around. And after I used that group of, whether it's bark,
so
leaves,
she brought it the next day she brought it?
Yes, she brought like this thing. She had covered it in like a newspaper. It was like barks, it was root, it was leaves, it was twigs. And I was like, hey, this looks interesting. I brought it back to Nairobi. And for the first time, I had a painless period in my life.
Really?
And that was like for the first time in like 20 years. So I was like, wow. So I gave it to a friend who was on her way to a hysterectomy.
Yes.
And she had been bleeding for 21 days and it was coming out like porridge.
Yes.
So I thought, before you go for the hysterectomy, use this to manage your pain or whatever it is you're going through. And then that was it. She never went for the hysterectomy.
And whatever was causing the bleeding?
It was completely resolved.
Wow.
Because I went back, she told me, when you go back, bring more of that stuff. Huh? And then now she shared this information in a WhatsApp group, and the rest is history.
So that's very interesting. So you accidentally, and it's interesting that you are, let's say you're a citizen of the globe.
Yes,
you are educated in Nairobi, you were fortunate enough to study out of the country.
Yes.
And I'm sure your work took you all across Europe in your work. And so you have this exposure.
Yes.
And that exposure has come with you trying, like you said, you had good health here, good cover. So you tried everything, both local and international.
Yes.
And you now come and discover a solution accidentally.
Yes.
Yeah. In a traditional African that in itself, if the story ended there, it would have been very interesting.
Yeah.
But how do you then get inspired to turn this into a business?
I mean, I can't say I was inspired. Even at the time when we're in the WhatsApp group and they started calling me Miti Shambares. And, they were like, hey, what's Harriet up to, Squeezy, she's looking different. I was losing weight. I was like beginning to look younger. And the one let her tell you what she got from up country, right? At the time, I was still doing my finance consulting. I was working in renewable energy, water, and affordable housing. I was raising finance.
Okay.
And I was working with an EU company. They were the ones who were actually coming up with the funders.
Yes.
So, and I was doing some work at some point with DFID, at some point with CEDA. So I was just doing my work, but under pressure now to start boiling this thing, to start telling people, oh yeah, go and talk to so-and-so, bring me more of that stuff. And they'd bring it and I'd boil it. Let's say I'd boil 3 bottles. I used to go to the neighbors and borrow Coke bottles. Tell them, do you have old plastic bottles? I can recycle them. Yeah. And give my friends again. And it just now, the pressure. So I started now, I'm still doing my finance consulting. So then I started maybe making 10 bottles on 1 jiko.
Yes.
Just in the house.
Yes.
I a big sufuria, I bottle them. Again, I give to friends. I was still giving. Then someone suggested, you can sell this thing and make some money on the side. I started selling at 800 shillings a bottle.
Yeah.
Then what happened is now, I kept getting so many questions, even from that same WhatsApp group.
Yes.
My classmates from high school.
Okay.
There were so many questions. How does it work? What is the dosage? What's in it? Where did you find it? Because people were getting like, if you give someone who's had painful menses and then they experience a painless period, now the questions come.
Yeah.
They're like, I have a sister, I have a cousin, I have a daughter, my auntie, so many. So I made a video because I was tired of answering questions. Not because I was growing my business.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I said, this, every time somebody asks me, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to just put here, check this video. So I made a video and then I put the video on Facebook. And literally, up until now, that video got up to 4 million views.
Wow.
And again, my life went crazy. Because now people started insulting me on the video. Where are you? How can you put this? What's your number? You don't respond. You don't respond. Now it became a mission responding to this video.
Yes.
And that's when I spoke to a friend and said, hey, I need some help. You respond. I'll be making this dawa. I'll take it to G4S, Karen at that time, and then G4S will dispatch it. So I kind of had like a PA, but she was a friend at the time. So now it just kind of got crazy. It went from the 10 bottles on 1 jiko to now we got the big charcoal jikos, 10 jikos, 10 bottles each. So we're now standardizing naturally. Now we're doing 100 bottles a day, and then we have a rider.
Yes.
Then another friend came and said to me, I'll help you with that business of yours. There's actually in town a shelf called Notify. You pay 4,000 shillings because on that thread, people are really complaining it's expensive to get this product of yours, right? I say, oh, okay, we'll put it on the shelf and we'll say, you guys go to Notify, where now you can, that's a pickup point, and then you coordinate with my PA, so to speak, yeah? Now, what happened in that shop is like, my clients overwhelmed and overran the shop.
Wow.
There were just so many, they were only selling. And my one product, the one for women, was moving off the shelf.
Yeah.
So then we got into a disagreement with the owner because I was literally taking over.
Yes.
Right? So one person who was working there said to me, across the road, there's a new mall, right? That's our mall. We'll get you a shop in there.
Yeah.
So that was my first shop.
Okay.
And I moved with 3 people plus the rider. Yeah. I'm still doing finance consulting. For me, this is just like my side hustle, right?
Yeah.
But it's getting complicated. We're printing labels. We went to Safe Pack. We got bottles. It's like this thing is just moving.
Very organic.
Very organic. Then to advertise widely, even the fact that I'd put that video on Facebook, I created a page, Harriet's Botanicals. I found a picture of me. I thought, this is nice. I put my picture there. Then I was told by somebody who was working at KIPI, he said to me, you need to get the licenses for traditional medicine.
Yes.
And that I said, how? Then they knew somebody who was at University of Nairobi Pharmacology and Pharmacognosy Department.
Yes.
So what then happened is the school I went to for High School Alliance, the person working at KIPI was the MD at the time. And he had a cousin who was actually with me 3 years behind me. And she was a pharmacist.
Yes.
She was head of pharmacy and the pharmaceutical and pharmacology and pharmacognosy department. So when I went there now, I met her.
To Nairobi University.
Yes, University of Nairobi. So she took me to the same department and told me, oh yeah, bring them. We're going to test them.
Yes.
Bring your set of herbs. So I took them there and they tested and they gave me a report. Then they sent me to the Ministry of Culture because traditional medicine sits under Ministry of Culture, not Ministry of Health.
Interesting.
And they took that report, which said, these are common herbs used everywhere. That was what the report said. And then they gave me a license for 200 shillings. Literally. And now I could advertise more widely.
Okay.
I could put more videos. I could talk about it. I could put the testimonials. So what happens? Clients use it. They send us a testimonial. We put up the testimonial. And then it was just like, wow. Crazy like that.
Now, before we'll come back to the retail and the moving, but let's go back into this journey that started with this lady speaking to you at your dad's funeral.
Yeah.
So now, by the time you get to your 100 bottles a day, what's the sourcing journey behind the scenes? Who's collecting the herbs for you? How are they coming? Because that's quite a bit of volume already that you're now doing, and you need to boil. And because they are herbs, I'm sure that there's freshness, storage. So how is that journey? Yeah.
So at the time, it was the same lady, because I just told her, that time maybe she gave me a handful like this. Then I told her, now, go bring me 10 kilos. So she mobilized her group of women. They're almost like a chama.
Yes.
But they're all medicine women.
Okay.
So our villages have those kind of people.
Yes.
Who are in this particular kind of culture. The same way before you'd have your blacksmiths, and your rainmakers.
Yes.
And now we have our midwives.
Okay.
Because in the village, most women prefer to use a traditional birth attendant. First of all, to get pregnant, they use this kind of herbs.
Yes.
Then the whole entire journey, they use a traditional birth attendant and a midwife.
Yes.
So that already exists in the culture.
True.
So literally it was simple because she's just collecting from people's farms around there.
Yes.
So because we use liquid, we make them into a liquid decoction. We use very little in terms of feedstock. The percentage of feedstock, you need a handful to make 10 bottles. So we don't use as much feedstock.
You dilute it with water or you boil it down?
We boil it down.
Okay. Yeah,
we boil it down.
Yeah.
Now, if we were taking all that and making it into using a different process, you'd use a lot of herbs.
Okay.
So they encourage you use a traditional method.
Yes.
So that you don't deplete the forest.
Yes.
There's also a system where not everybody can, first of all, harvest traditional medicine. Not everybody's allowed.
Yes.
You have to have been given some kind of permission.
Yeah.
So when I went back now I'm in this journey, talking to different people. I spoke to Heva. Heva gave me a small grant of 500,000 shillings. And that was to do what we call a library, kind of like a library of traditional medicine. I called somebody up who connected me with the Maasai in Kisiriri.
Yes.
So we used that amount of money to go and now talk to herbal practitioners.
Yes.
That was the beginning. So we went to a place called Lelaitich, which is deep in the village in Bomet East. Then we went to where I come from in Sotik.
Yes.
Then we went to Kisiriri.
Yes.
So my idea at the time was, talk to different communities, talk to the Turkanas, talk to the Taita. I wasn't even talking to somebody from Taita because I felt that there was something here that we could document. We were just documenting.
Yes.
And that is how we built the communities who harvest for us, who we actually buy from.
Okay.
Now, because we buy top dollar,
literally,
we can be spending anything like 500 shillings per kg for these herbs.
Okay.
It means we limit the competition.
Yes.
It's actually more lucrative to sell to us. We have also kind of like forward contracts where if you have a tree and I'm interested in the tree because maybe I'm using 4 trees in a year or 6 and I want a mature tree, I buy the tree either ahead or I make a promissory note to buy the tree from you in 5 or 10 years.
Okay.
So I started now introducing like financial instruments in terms of where will I get my feedstock.
A localized supply chain, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay.
But I wasn't taking it so seriously then. It was just like, oh, okay, well, let's supply, let's get a bit of money.
Yes.
Then it's like now the business overwhelmed the other work I was doing.
Great problem to have.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because you get stressed because customers want the product.
Yes.
And they want your attention as well. Because traditional medicine has very much the presence of the person making the medicine is essential.
Yes.
There are clients who will only take it after speaking with you.
Yes.
So it has an interesting spiritual component, placebo effect.
Yes.
So now it just got bigger and bigger. So we had our shop in Sour Mall. Then there were my clients on Gong Road who say, well, we can't get to town. So I got another little shop in somewhere on Gong Road. Then from there, we had a friend who said, you know what? I live in Eldoret. I can open like a little shop for you. First, maybe they're selling from home. Then they open a little shop. The same happened in Nakuru. I had a friend, a classmate, was selling from home in Mombasa, another classmate selling from home in Meru, another classmate in Kisumu. They graduated into shops when the volume grew bigger.
Wow.
Then eventually now our customers would go to Healthy You and demand our product. So Healthy You approached us and today we supply 34 Healthy You outlets for the 4 liquid products. So that's really how the business grew.
So let's talk a bit now, coming back to the product.
Yeah.
Let's talk about diversification. So there's the one product that is clear
women's.
how you onboarded it, personal problem solved by the medicine.
Yes.
And the herbal medicine. And how do the other products evolve? Do they evolve from this research that you're doing with the Herbal Fund? Documentation?
No. How they evolved is literally in that WhatsApp group. What women were saying to me is, Sasa umenitibu, you have helped me, but what about my husband? How do we know that this problem? Because that same product has multiple functions.
Yes.
Really, it's a fertility treatment.
Yes.
And every time you have painful menses, it means you have a problem with fertility.
Yes.
So if your menses disappear, or like, amenorrhea, or they skip, or, you don't ovulate,
yes,
or you have fibroids, too much estrogen,
yes,
you have PCOS, not enough estrogen, or you have multiple miscarriages, your progesterone drops too fast.
Yes.
Everything related to women's reproductive health is in that product.
Okay.
What they would now say is that, how do you know it's not my man? Go, Mr. Chambares, go back and ask the mamas what the men are doing.
For men? Okay.
And that's what I did. And the men have their own products as well, to clear their, urinary tract.
Yes.
To prevent prostate cancer, to prevent inflamed prostate, to increase libido, a general wellness detox. Because the men are also cleaning themselves out. The way the women are cleaning themselves, the men are cleaning themselves.
Yeah.
So that's how I did now my second product. When I went to look at the herbs they were using, because I Googled the names and I discovered Tendweit is Prunus africana and also Muiri in Kikuyu. And it is used for prostate cancer medication in Europe for men over 50.
Okay.
And there was a time it was over-harvested in Kenya in the 70s. And even now it is being harvested in Cameroon. It's a tree.
It's a tree. Okay.
Yeah. It's a tree that is used for prostate cancer medication. So I thought, well, I'm also going to now create a formulation with this one based on what I know. I'm going to have something there for digestive health. I'm going to have something for insulin resistance.
Yes.
I'm going to have something for infections. At the same time, the same product is really good for prostate issues. So when I put together this formulation, this is what I get. This is my formulation. That's how I did the men's product. Then the other product was about COVID. Because again, on my page, people say, how come you've never done anything for COVID? How can you just sit there pretending to be Miti Shambares and we don't have something for COVID.
The name has now stuck. Miti Shambares has become a name.
It became a brand. It became a brand.
Okay.
So now I was locked in Bomet during COVID. And what we used to do, what somebody said to me, Pasasa, when we're going through the checkpoints, how you make sure your temperature is down, unakunywa dawa. So there's like a tea that they're all having, because we're going to Kericho. So we're going to pass many checkpoints. And they're going to check our temperature. And they're like, there was these rumors, ukishikwa hapa utapelekwa Londiani girls ufungwe. There was these kind of don't let these people catch you. Watakufunga kwa shule ingine ile upendi. So us were like, we're not getting locked up in COVID. We take this medication. So then I asked the guy working on my farm, who's now my farm manager, what are these? Where can I get them? And he showed me. And I was like, that's my third formulation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that became Sagawaita. Then, now, after, the funny thing about Kenyans is that they will not let you rest. They have new requirements for you.
Yes.
After that, they're like, well, my mom has diabetes and, blood pressure. And for like 2 years, every post is like, wapi ya blood pressure, wapi ya joint pain, wapi ya this. And I had a cousin now in this other side who had kept telling me, kuna ya ile ya damu, kuna ya sukari. And I kept ignoring him because I thought, I'm going to go and introduce something that doesn't work and I'm going to get in trouble with the authorities.
Yes.
Then one day I thought, okay, I'll just do that one anyway. So he sent me some, I got some from someone else. Remember that right now I have a community of 400 traditional practitioners, including the Maasai.
Yes.
If you go to the Maasai, where they are in Kisiriri near the Mau, they will show you all the different plants, which are exactly the same as the Ogiek are using and the Kipsigis are using, the people who are in the periphery of the Mau.
Yes.
It's the same ecosystem. And they call it this in Kimasai, they call it this in Kipsigis.
It's the same plant or the same tree.
Plant.
Yeah.
The same plant.
Yeah.
So for me, I got a combination of that and created more seep charts. And why I kept the traditional names is that I really wanted, the people in the village to understand the value they have and to make sure nobody ever cuts those trees for firewood ever again.
Okay.
So for me, I was backlinking and thinking, this is so amazing. My culture is so amazing. I mean, these people will never have to be poor ever again.
Yes.
Because they have this botanical treasures.
Yes.
So that's kind of how it was just going like that. Yeah.
So now, fast forward to today. You have a diversity of products.
Yes.
You have products that you drink and for various things, fertility products, joint pain products and the rest. But you also have, you've diversified into flowers and other supplements.
Yes.
So maybe walk us through the journey of onboarding more products than...
So what used to happen is how I strengthened my relationship with Healthy You is women would come to me and say, this is the problem I have. So then I'd say, yes, you can take this bottle, but I want you to go to Healthy You and get these supplements, or go here, get the supplements. And this is the kind of food you need to be eating, because we take a holistic perspective on the human.
Yes.
A lot of these conditions we're struggling with are actually diet related, environmental related. We have changed our diet. So something is happening epigenetically.
Yes.
What my grandmother was eating is not what I am eating, or what my mother was eating.
Yes.
Seeing as my mother was first generation university and she was here in Nairobi working.
Yes.
So the way she was living her life is not similar to her great grandmother or her grandmother.
Okay.
So for me, I'm reintroducing the traditional lifestyle of whether it's your sleep, moderate, looking at everything, your sleep, your environment, your food. Are you hydrating? The food now, people just resist going elsewhere to get the supplements, to get the food. They say, why can't you just give me everything? If you want me to do this, nitakunywa hii, what will I eat? Even if you say to them, go and get fruits, which fruits? Okay, where shall I buy the fruits? Okay, they get to the supermarket. Okay, you told me to get blueberries. How many? So you find you're having to be so prescriptive. It's better when you just say, take this. It's easier on your sales team. That's how I developed the flowers.
Okay.
I used, again, rongorig, and you can find irongorig also in Kisi to mean porridge, food, nutrition.
Yes.
So in line with, cultural heritage business, because now I really got excited about the idea of a cultural heritage business.
Yes.
Not that I just went and got an idea from out there and came and plastered it on here. I developed from beneath.
Yes.
So that's how I developed my Rongorik flowers with different things, with Mukombero, because I wanted to bring in other cultures, other communities to explore what they have. And then I now decided to do the supplements. The supplements really, whether it's super fertility, super vitality, super immunity, again, are to support the other products.
Yes.
So that if your nutrition is low, if you can't get hold of these supplements, if you walk into some place and you can't understand what is there, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, selenium, zinc, iron, it's so frustrating. I put it together for you into super fertility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's speak a bit about packaging, because from that journey of do you have empty Coke bottles? You're going to your neighbors. You now have some pretty swanky packaging, and it's very modern. Yeah. It's very nice. The products you sent me to sample, which I'm really enjoying, by the way. But tell me a bit about your packaging journey.
So initially, we just get bottles from Safe Pack.
Yes.
And then we'd just print labels. Everything was just kind of organic. You have a friend who does the design for you. Then they tell you about somebody else who can print them for you somewhere in town. Same with brochures, the usual marketing.
Yes.
Then now people started copying. I had a lot of counterfeits. So I had people who would buy the bottle, rip the label off, dilute into 2 bottles. And then now they are selling as Harriet's Botanicals.
Yes.
So I was really struggling with counterfeiting, with theft, because the bottles all look alike. It's easy to get that bottle.
Yes.
So I developed my new bottle last year. It took a while because I could not find a mold maker locally. And I could not. So it was very expensive as well to do it in the EU. So I then talked to somebody who showed me how to do it in India.
Yes.
And then I developed a mold, and the mold was brought here. And now I have just one supplier of bottles. And it is embossed Harriet's Botanicals, and it has my number at the bottom.
And the mold is yours.
Yes.
So you fabricated the mold in India.
Yes.
And a local supplier, is it a
local supplier, plastics.
Plastic supplier.
Yes.
You give them the mold, and they now manufacture.
Yes, and it had to be pharmaceutical grade, high density plastic.
Pharmaceutical grade, high density plastic.
Yes, for me, yeah. So I was struggling.
Why specifically that? Why did it have to be
You see,
that?
before I used to use, I think they just call it PET.
Yes.
Just regular plastic. Now, regular plastic maybe will leach into the product, and you can't meet regulatory requirements with that bottle.
Okay.
So since I was sort of on multiple fronts facing off with regulation, you see, this is medicine.
Okay.
So the regulatory requirements are quite high, and I am trying to meet all the different regulatory bodies.
Okay.
So this is my journey into even changing my packaging, making it very unique. So making sure nobody can counterfeit, because if there's counterfeits being produced out there, I am still the kind of the buck stops with me.
The liability is still coming your way. Yeah.
Somebody out there will be consuming a Harriet's Botanicals product which I did not produce.
Yes.
And if they get sick, it'll still come back to me. So that was sort of I was more battling with the regulation than trying to become swanky or whatever. And there are Kenyans who are like, as long as you produce it in that PET, I will not buy it. Up until today, there are people who want it in a glass bottle, which is, we will also migrate to that, like I call it the bougie market, who only take this kind of thing in a glass bottle.
Yes.
But portability, because I have clients all over the country, and we use the shuttles, and we use riders. So in terms of glass bottle became a little bit difficult, not portable at all. You can't put it in a DHL box to go out of the country.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. But, and I guess aligned with packaging, we have to now come into manufacturing.
Yes.
Your volumes have increased.
Yes.
You're selling from something you would boil at the back of your house.
Yes.
You've now gone and set up a manufacturing entity.
Yes.
So maybe marry your supply chain where you have these 400 people around the country who are collecting for you different herbs, barks, and the like. You come, you bring them to a central location.
Yes.
Maybe walk us through your journey of setting up that manufacturing entity.
So what then tend to happen, because now those 10 Jikos were in the house.
Yes.
In fact, they were just like in front of the garage. And then the garage is where I used to put the feedstock, and it's just kausha in the back.
Yes.
Then it's like now the kitchen is the labeling room.
Okay.
The dining room is like the administrative. The front of the house is dispatch. So then now it was just like I took over the whole house.
Yes.
And my sister said to me, now everything here is Harriet's Botanicals, Harriet's Botanicals. So literally I had to move out of the house. So I went just around to like a local business park. I was first of all just looking for an office. Because I said, if I sit in this office, I can do the dispatch from here.
Yes.
And stop disturbing people in the house who are doing other things as well. So in that same place then, literally when we came back from COVID, the volume was so high we now needed to now produce in a more efficient way. And so where we went to at that time, in the same business park, we had these vats. We had somebody working with us, an engineer, my technical director, you met him earlier, who we created these vats from the whole idea of the milk industry. And then we'd boil inside those vats.
Okay.
And that space, actually, we were there for 4 years or 4.5 years. And the volumes just kept going up until now. This year, I moved into a bigger space in the same business park, but I took triple the space because I needed now to do good manufacturing practices, which I had learned under Kenya Association of Manufacturers SME program.
Okay.
So I needed a wet room, I needed a dry room, I needed a dispatch room, I needed a finished goods area, I needed a dispatch room, and I needed an office for the staff, like the administrative staff. So it's like my team was growing, I needed more space.
Yes.
And now I can produce up to 2,000 bottles a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just much easier to work with than this 100 bottles a day. And then you can, the distribution process is just way more efficient.
So let's talk a bit about, you talk about the vats.
Yeah.
These were locally fabricated, boiling vats. That you have now fabricated, designed to your specification. And fabricated for you to, what you used to boil on the jiko, you're now boiling in the boiling vats.
And now we use gas.
And you're now on LPG. Okay, excellent.
Because the idea had even been to try and go solar.
Yes.
But it didn't work at that time. We didn't have the capacity and the space to create enough solar power, because I was trying to be like zero waste. Now all this, my Western education was kicking in.
Yes.
I wanted to be zero waste, renewable energy and all that.
Yes.
Because, GCOs are not really healthy and they pollute the environment.
Yes.
So this is why we migrated to this system where it's a closed vat system.
Yes.
And even now, as you're doing your bottling and your labeling, now you're thinking about things like which bacteria. So we do at feedstock level, we do moisture content.
Yes.
And we check some parameters.
Yes.
Right in the village. It's transported here by G4S. Here again, we have to do the moisture content and the pH and observe the feedstock.
Yes.
Once the feedstock gets into the wet room, it's a controlled environment. Sanitized, highly sanitized, controlled environment.
Yes.
Where we have the thermal hygroscopies. We check the thermometer, we check the degrees that you use to heat them up.
Yes.
So there's all these different levers.
Yes.
And we also built a lab.
Yes.
And the lab is to check for your staphylococcus, your E. coli, all the things that are not supposed to be in that product. Because these are the things I was struggling with before.
Yes.
So that then I can get the quality guys to check and to write a report to say, this is free of this. It's at the right pH.
Yeah.
Everything. I also brought in a reverse osmosis machine to purify the water. So we purify our own water.
That you use.
Yes.
Okay.
So that whole entire process, including how we bottle and how we label, it has to be 100% sanitized.
Yes.
So these good manufacturing practices had to be introduced because in as much as they are supplements, they're also medicine.
Yes.
Right? And since we don't put any additives, no preservatives, everything is 100% natural and you store it at room temperature.
Yeah. That
way, your process has to be 100% controlled from the beginning all the way up to the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, yours is such an interesting story because one of the things we aim to do in the podcast is to tell the story of local context.
Yeah.
And you've now taken, I think I'm fair in saying that you've taken a very local product, a herbalist nutrition and medicinal product that's created from local herbs and barks and other ingredients, and you've brought it into the 21st century.
Yes.
From a packing perspective, from a manufacturing. And I think that's the ultimate story of Africans doing, because these are the things I think that we lost. When we say we lost culturally during colonialism, I think these are the kind of things, because I recall a time growing up where mitishamba was not a good word. You know, it was not like something to be proud of. You know, in fact, in Kiswahili, there was, people used to use mchawi and mitishamba interchangeably.
Yeah,
you
mganga
know?
and mchawi.
Mganga, mchawi, and mitishamba, they used, and one is a medicine man and one is a witch, you know,
Exactly.
and those are two totally different things.
Yeah.
So let's talk about retail, because I met you through Retrack, which you joined, and you now have retail fronts. Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
So from your first shop at Sawa Sawa Mall, which was again another organic growth, you're now an out and out retailer. So you're like you have the complete process loop because you manufacture, and while you do have some distributorship relationships with Healthy You and the like, you also have Harriet's Botanical shops.
Yes.
So let's talk about your retail journey in terms of finding spaces, kitting out those spaces, brand, look and feel, standardization of that. How has that journey been for you?
So it was interesting. I mean, I had this Sawa Mall was a new mall.
Yes.
It's not easy to get into these big malls if you're not known.
Yes.
So first I had Sawa Mall. I had a very tiny strip mall on Gong Road, Sokosafi, where it was easy to get into those spaces. At Sarit, I had a desk. On Tuesday, there was an organic farmers market there.
Okay.
I think I was there for 3 years before they actually allowed me, based on that relationship, to convert into a pop-up. And I had to do a lot of meetings back and forth, talk to the management. It was a bit of a long process. And that's when I discovered it's not easy to get into these malls.
Yes. Established malls, you mean?
Yes, the established malls.
Yeah.
Then BBS was new also. Any of these new malls, they were looking for new tenants. So it was easy to get into BBS. And I was now trying to brand in the sense that I must have the logos, I must have the signage, just things I learned along the way. When you go into any mall and you look at any shop, you're going to see their signage.
Yes.
You're going to see how they've done the, the shelves and everything. So I was trying to be like an apothecary, like an African apothecary.
Excellent, yeah.
So now what then happened is I tried to get into Junction. I couldn't get in. I went to Garden City. I couldn't get in. I went to TRM. I couldn't get in. So I went to Rupert's Mall, Eldoret. I couldn't get in. So I noticed that these malls have anchor tenants who have to be consulted. And if there's someone in there doing something similar, they won't let you in.
Yes.
But in a sense, Kenyans see your business as real only when they see you in different places, looking the same.
Yes.
So you have to standardize.
Yes.
So that's when I now developed my relationship with Healthy You and said, if I'm not on Gong Road, Healthy You are on Gong Road.
Yes.
I'm not on Thika Road. I have a lot of clients on Thika Road. Well, Garden City and TRM Healthy You. On Mombasa Road, it'll be Imara and there's one more, Capital Center.
Yes.
In a place like Nyanyuki, I'm not there. There's a Healthy You. In Mombasa, where I am, it's not so well known, though it's in the CBD. Right, I'm in Burhani Tower, but then there's Healthy You Nyali, there's Healthy You Greenwood. So I was leveraging on these relationships to make sure people can access my products.
Yes.
Then there's the ones who literally only want to come into a Harriet's Botanicals shop. Even with all these distributors, literally a client will walk in and they will call us. They will call our customer service and we will take it from there. Because what we do that other people don't do is give you this end-to-end literally therapeutic experience.
Okay.
You can sit there for as long as you want and tell us your problems. And that's what Kenyan women want. They want to walk into your shop and tell you all their problems from A to Z. If they're having problems with, conceiving, it means they're having problems in their marriage, the relationship, there's an auntie talking, a sister-in-law, there's other things. So you have to listen to all that. And that's why we also developed a CRM so that, we can document what our clients are saying to us. When they come to our shop, we already know what's going on with them. We know they've taken 3 bottles.
Yes.
We know they have endometriosis. We know they're not able to conceive or they've had multiple miscarriages. The conversations happening in our shops are not happening anywhere else apart from with doctors. But if you go to your doctor, it's going to be expensive. So literally for that bottle, you get a lot of therapy. And you get a lot of ideas. That's what we're doing in the retail space.
Okay. Yeah. And how many retail outlets do you have across the
15.
country? 15.
Yes.
And what's the footprint around the country? Nairobi, what's the split or where are they?
Okay, I have 4 in Nairobi.
Yes.
I have 2 in Nakuru. I have 1 in Kisumu. I have 1 in Kericho. I have 1 in Eldoret. I have Mombasa, Kitengela, Naivasha, Kisii.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really impressive retail footprint. And then, of course, you have strategic partnerships with the likes of Healthy You. Any other?
Not yet. I mean, we've been talking to my Dawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's speak a bit about export, because we were talking earlier and you did let me know that you do export out of the country. So how did that start? Is it the same from Facebook, people reading your comments and then asking, I want this stuff, and you now have a bit of export business?
Yes.
And how does that
work? The
work?
clients mainly come from Instagram.
Yes.
And they're all over the world. They're in Qatar.
Yes.
Many are Kenyans.
Yes.
And Nigerians. I have a big Nigerian client base in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So if one found me and she was treating fibroids, couldn't get pregnant, she got pregnant, she got all her cousins, all her friends, they are my clients.
Yes.
Then I have Australia. I don't know how it happened in Australia. I think there's a big Kenyan population there.
Yes, there is.
I have Canada and I have the US. So you can find a client based in Australia. When they come and they pick up the product and it works, they start sort of like, they are the ones spreading the word out there. So this is still very organic. And one time we did a Spice FM show and we got a lot of new customers based in the diaspora.
Yes.
So I would say the diaspora are still Africans. This is why I say my products are for the Africans in the cities and in the diaspora.
Okay.
That's who I am trying to reach. I'm not trying to compete with, pharmaceuticals out there doing fertility medication, IVF, because I feel that population has already a lot of support.
Yes.
But who supports Africans in their reproductive health?
Yes.
Or, in their issues, that
are unique to them in many
exactly.
ways. Yeah.
There's actually hardly anybody.
Okay.
So because of what we've done, more people are beginning to look at the African market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how do you distribute now to those markets that you're in?
Same thing. Like literally, it was so difficult to send bottles. So one time I called up DHL somewhere in Karen and they said, yeah, come along. And I went and I took 100 bottles. I was so excited. And then the next day they rejected them and said, these are going to be rejected at the border. So we're not taking them. So for a while, though, I had gone to Kefis and I had gone to all the different places, Kemri, to get the different certification so that I could export. Then they said, this won't even go through EU borders. Nothing will happen.
Yeah.
2 years later, they approached me and said, we have DHL Express for small businesses.
Yes.
And then my website became retail enabled. And next thing, those bottles cross the borders. I don't know how they do it.
Okay.
So I can send anywhere in the world with DHL Express.
Excellent.
In any case, people can put it in their suitcase and it goes through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like say, this is herbal medicine, this is a tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe let's talk about the numbers, because it's 5 years. You're 5 years in now.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations for getting
you.
to 5 years. That is a milestone in and of itself.
Yeah.
But what are we looking at of the scale of the business? Of course, from your first, was it 100 bottles a day?
Yes. I mean,
how are your volumes looking today?
I would say anything between 5,000 to 7,000 bottles a month.
Wow, a month.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, let's go into crystal ball.
Yeah.
Before we go into the future, let's talk a bit about, has your business been entirely organic, or how has the capital journey been?
So it's
capital first, and then let's say policy licensing next. How has that journey been for Harriet's Botanicals?
So for capital, apart from the 500,000 I received from Heva, I haven't received a capital injection. Everything has been bootstrapping. And half the time, literally, it's something that needs to get done. We use the money that we're making to get it done.
Yes.
Save up money, get a mold. Save up money. Now we have, let's say, some few millions, expand production. Now we have maybe 2-3 million available. Let's expand it. Let's, do something with these vats.
So very organic.
Absolutely, very organic. I mean, I've started talking to people about where I can get money if I needed to do, something really, something big and something that can make me compliant with EU and US regulations.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to manufacture now in a way that I can export their B2B. So that I can supply.
Can get into the Whole Foods of this world and other big brands globally.
And we've even been speaking with, I met some people, at a CAM event, who are like the French government is looking for companies that want to set up production in any of their French territories. So when I went to speak to them and say, okay, this is the kind of money that I need to do that, I start thinking about who would I speak to as a financier?
Yes.
And now I'm at this place where I think first things first, to organize my board, which I only had like an informal board, now to formalize my board.
Yes.
And this year we're doing a lot on commercial strategy.
Okay.
Literally, we're streamlining all our processes. We're looking at all our people. We're looking at who we need. We're looking at all our systems. We're making sure all our systems are working. So the last year has been grueling in terms of fixing what isn't working, bringing in what will work better for us, identifying the kind of staff we need. Because we were just like growing, selling, growing. Now, this year it's been a little bit slow. So this has now made me think about, why do I sell, let's say I sell a lot of the women's product. Why don't I sell as much of the men's? So we look at our commercial strategy as well in terms of how do we speak to men? How do we advertise? So that's where we are now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about policy? You're in a bit of a cutting edge space because most mitishamba people still are in the plastic bottle phase. And they're selling you this root concoction of them. But you've now taken it formal.
Yes.
So how has your journey been through with the standard bodies, the various licensing bodies, and how has your experience been on that front?
Yeah, I've had no problems with the licenses. I mean, I am the one who pushes. Like now, a Pharmacy and Poisons Board only just released a traditional medicine criteria.
Okay.
I think it was just in the last few years.
As a result of the work you're doing?
Yes, not just me.
So?
I think other people
you
as
and
well.
Others, yeah.
Yes. I think KEBS also released a standard, if I'm not wrong, last year.
Yes.
So that the reason we are upgrading is to meet the standards. So some of our products are eligible already under existing standards, and we have those.
Yes.
And others just fall under Ministry of Culture.
Okay.
So I've been pushing the legislators. I mean, if I meet them, I think I met one legislator just at an organic farmer's market, and I was just badgering her because I said, you please need to talk about this. You need to legislate. I will do all the work. I will do the research. I will do all the underlying work. I will talk to my legal team who can draft. And you can use us as a benchmark, as a study. So for me, I'm pushing the legislators.
What legislation are you looking for?
I want it to come under Ministry of Health, right? And I want clear regulations and clear guidelines on how you manufacture, how you distribute, everything around traditional medicine. And I want it
to be...
So
a Traditional Medicine Act of sorts.
Yes.
Yes, that covers that whole space.
Yes, and nothing, what we don't want is something too vague.
Yes.
We want something that somebody in the village can say, I just need to get this. Let's say I'm in Kisumu.
Yes.
And there's all these like medicines or choga, whatever they are, in my backyard. And I have an interest.
Yes.
Where do I go?
Yes.
Do I go to Kiridi? Can Kiridi give me the facilities? Can I build the facilities? Can a group of people come together, form a cooperative and say, well, we have frankincense.
Yes.
If you look at the Somali community, they have a lot of these botanical treasures. If you go to Meru, you can say the mira, the plant, can become a botanical. Right? You can make tinctures, you can make oils, you can make a salve, you can make something that you drink that's not an intoxicant. So I want people like myself to know what they need to do to take the botanical treasures they have, even if it's medicine, and convert it into a modern product that can be sold globally. So there's a lot of work to do in the whole entire industry.
I really like that term, botanical treasures. Yeah, because I think that's what they are.
Yes.
And it's there's strength in looking inward in that way, in
Absolutely.
the way that you're looking. And I like the fact that you're doing it or you're exploring it from a legislative perspective.
Yes.
Because then we capture. In essence, you are now, I would say, defining the system.
Yes.
Because ultimately, I think what we need to learn as Kenyans is that's how the law works.
Yes, yes.
The law is for us. It's not the other way around, Because if we're going to be this innovative nation that is inventing new things, we also need to learn how to legislate around what we'll create, which I think is the journey that you're going through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to create the intellectual capacity.
Yeah.
If you might have somebody like me who's Miti Shambares is in the middle, but you see, I need a pharmaceutical.
Yes.
Someone who knows that.
Yes.
Maybe I need doctors. I work with doctors now.
Okay.
So I need the health profession to support me and help me develop the products. If I wanted to do clinical trials, who would I work with? Where would I get the funding? What are the parameters? So you see, you need the doctors, you need the people who make policy, you need... It's a whole entire industry. If I want to do skincare, like I am developing a skincare line, based on the same botanical treasures of the Rift Valley. So now, for me, I worked with a chemical engineer who is actually a skincare manufacturer.
Okay.
I mean, I had access to that kind of person.
Yes.
It's not cheap, right? And she's not accessible to somebody else, let's say in Nyanyuki, who wants to create a skincare line that can compete with all the foreign brands that are in our market. So for me, I just think there's so much to do.
Yes.
And, I'm willing to be like the guinea pig.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned, and maybe just touch briefly on, you worked with doctors.
Yeah.
So you're very... These are African traditional medicines and supplements.
Yeah.
So how are you working with doctors? Are you working... Maybe just walk us through how that journey is with your working with doctors, and what are you creating with them?
So what happened because when our clients come to us, we say we want to see your ultrasound.
Yes.
We want to see your report. What did your gyna say? Age, weight. We have this, like, I think they call it triage.
Yes.
We have our own triage in terms of what we ask the clients. Yeah. So what our clients have started doing is they go to a doctor with our product and they tell them, you can do anything to me. Yes, you do the ultrasound, but me, I'm going to take this product. I want you to know. Our clients started now literally harassing their doctors because they don't want this other, like, medication which they think gives them side effects.
Yes.
So literally now the doctors are asking, who is this? Who's Harriet? Who is doing this? I had another client who was using my product for pain, and she went into Kenyatta Hospital to take out 40 fibroids. And when they asked her, how come you're no longer in pain? She said, of course, I'm taking Harriet's products. And they're like, huyo mwanamke ametusumbua sana.
No, really?
Because now, whether it's a hospital, the public ones, people in there are using my product. So the doctors decided, especially the ones in Karen, to start working with me.
Okay.
Right? So where I have my shop at the waterfront, we have the waterfront clinic. So you have clients coming, picking up my product, going into the clinic, or going into the clinic, coming to my product. So then they put me into their group and they said, your customers are here. Come and talk to them. We're not going to be the ones to explain it to them. And this is how I developed that relationship.
Amazing.
And I said, you see, let us now work together. You must see a doctor, because you have people who don't want to talk to doctors anymore.
Yes.
Women who say, no, I've been through that. I don't want that at all. I don't want the medicine. I don't want a painkiller.
Yeah.
You sort me out. And I always say, we're holistic. As Africans, we don't reject science. We have our ancient sciences as well. This is a science.
Yes, it is.
So we don't reject knowledge that we've received from other cultures.
Yes.
We work with it, we integrate it. So you can still work with a nutritionist and you can work with your gynecologist as you take our product.
Excellent.
That is sort of our approach.
Excellent. Harriet, what a fabulous, fabulous story. I think, allow me first to just... give you your flowers when you're sitting here. I think it's a fabulous thing that you're doing. The fact that you've been able to take what is traditional African culture and you're basically curating it in a modern context is something worthy of celebration. Yeah.
Thank you.
But also that you're taking this and putting it first on a local map and then creating a world-class product that is exportable. And aspiring to do it even better is something very, very admirable.
Thank you.
We here at the African Do Podcast wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
I think I'll give you a chance now to just speak to the audience and tell them where can they find you, where can they find you digitally on social media, so that those that do not know you or do not know of you, both locally and internationally, can then start to engage with who you are and hopefully become customers of your products. Yeah.
So online, we're all over. We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. We also have a website, harrietsbotanicals.co.ke. You'd find us online everywhere. People are talking about us everywhere, and we are talking back to them as well. We have 15 shops out here. You can go to any Healthy You, actually, and find our 4 liquid products.
Yes.
If you want to actually buy from the diaspora, you can go to the website and we'll send the product to you wherever in the world you are.
Excellent. Excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was a fabulous story of, I think what we're about on this podcast is Africans executing with excellence. And Harriet has taken what is our traditional culture and products and curated them in a modern context and is now selling them to the world. And we celebrate that. So thank you very much for joining us in episode 26. And we look forward to seeing you in the future. And we wish Harriet's Botanicals all the very best as they continue to grow and develop. Asanteni sana.